Many of you are used to the Connect product, which both Mass Notification and Connect are Blackboard products, but we're going to be switching over to the Mass Notification system this year because it's just going to be a little bit more K-12 friendly, and you have access to SMORE, which makes it easier to send out newsletters to parents, and just some other things, features that I think you're going to enjoy better than the current system. So just know, though, that you do have both systems that you can send to, and we will be transitioning throughout the year. So as soon as you can move over to the new system, the better it'll be, so you can get used to it before we officially cut off the Connect. So first of all, I was going to let you know that you each have a campus account. So I created manual accounts for each campus that both you and anyone else that you have sending messages out can log into to send a message out. If you prefer having separate accounts, you'll have to let me know and I'll create those for you. And you can access this more from any of those. But like I said, to start with, I just have the one main account. And so I will send you that login information if you don't have it, but it's typically the first name of your school. So like Stuber, period, elementary. It'd be Rogers, period, middle, period, school for your login ID. And then your password is one that was created by technology. And like I said, I'll send that to you if you don't already have it. A lot of you have already seen this because this is the same information that I use for your social media accounts and some of the other things that I've created just to keep everything consistent. If for some reason you need me to change the password, it's not a problem. Just let me know so we can change it across the board for everything, because it helps me be able to help you so I can get into those accounts and do sometimes I need to go in and do something because you're not at a computer or you just need some assistance looking at something. And so it just makes things much easier to have things stay consistent like that. So once you put your username in, you'll put your password. And if you didn't notice up here at the top, it is prosper period parent.link period net to log into the mass notification system. So I would just bookmark that to make it easier to get to. This is the dashboard that you'll see. Currently, how I have this account set up is it instead of it being a person, which each individual's account just has a name. So if I left it as your staff account, it would have your name going out to everybody. So with the Stuber account, it says Stuber Elementary, and it has a no reply email address so that people can't respond back to things that are sent out. If you choose to allow people to respond back, just let me know and I can show you how to make that change in the system to add in there your email address or the Stuber information, email address, things like that. But if you're going to keep it as is, you'll go into create a message to start. Here's a template. If you were going to send this out in multiple ways, the same message, you could type it here, and then it would populate to all of these forms. I typically just send out emails for the most part. Phone, we do that on occasion, but that's, as most of you know, is more of the weather alerts. And then text, I save that for more emergency level or something I really need to share with everybody, because otherwise I'm afraid that people will opt out of it and then they won't get very important messages that they need. So I stick to email, and then social media is the other thing that we send out a lot of information through. So when you click on email, you can go up here and you'll see that you have access to SMORE. If you click on this down arrow, you can see that there's some things I've already created. You can go to create a newsletter. If I wanted to edit like that particular thing, I would want to go down here to view all, select it, and hit edit, which will then take me to SMORE. And then once I'm done with, I'm just going to show you a couple things here. So once I'm done with this, if I made noticed I made an issue or type something wrong, I can click it and then hit publish changes, and it'll take me back to the window where I can send out the newsletter. So you can close that window, it gives you a preview, and then that's how you would send out your newsletter. If you wanted to create something new, go to create newsletter, and it'll take you to this window, which right now I'm logged in as as me, but if you were logged into something else and you needed to log into a different account, you can go to use another account and log in. So I'm going to just continue as myself right now. And then I can go to start a newsletter. Here are various options. A lot of times I'll just send out something that is about an event. So I'll click on the event and then I can change anything that I want in there. Or if I want to do a newsletter, I can do a weekly update. Let's skip that step for right now, but you can go in, you can remove any of these if you wanted to, if you didn't want that in there. I can go add pictures, which maybe after the first day of school, you could go in and add a picture in here. We do need to make sure that we get the no photo list and we look at that before we start sending pictures out of students. But here's a lot of different things that you can do, or you can even add items to the bottom here, a button to go to a link, or a photo gallery, a single picture, more text. There's all sorts of things that you can do. Video. And then once you're done, oh, and then let me just show you something else too. You can go here and change how it looks. So say you wanted minimal. You can go to background and you can pick different backgrounds. That are already in here. You can also add your own. You can see I've added some here. I did that for the Back to School Safety Bash. So you can add your own in there too. All right, so now we're done. I'm going to go to Done Editing. I'm going to close this. I don't have any other information, so why it's not showing anything else. And up here, you will type a subject for your newsletter. Recipients. Here are groups that you create, and you can create your own groups. Here are ones that are already created. So we have 15 community members. We have students. Students don't have email addresses, so you'll want to send to parents. In this one, you'll see all the individual parents there, or you could hit select and select all the parents. I have some categories already set up for you that you can use. Here's your staff, and then school administrator is actually the account that was created that you're in right now. So groups, you see your first, second, third, fourth grade groups. Buses, parents of first grade. Once again, this is what you'll want to send to are the parents. And then here are the ones I've created. So Stuber group, there's 4 of them. Emergency, this one is for more major type of emergencies because there's a group that this goes to that are district administrators, and then it's also a group of community people that are notified when something happens at one of our campuses or near one of our campuses, and so that's where this would go. Newsletter, this is your weekly group because it also goes to your community, and you'll see it says query beside here because these, and this one also gets updated. There's just one group that's static, which is why it shows a number there, but the query means that every time we have a new staff member or a new parent, this updates, or community member signs up. And so from week to week, I would use this category. Here's just parents and staff. If it's something that doesn't really involve the community, it's, you know, a homework policy or something like that that just needs to go to parents and staff, you can hit select for that one. And I also put a staff group in here so that if you're doing like a staff newsletter, I know you have a group that is part of your email already, but this one will enable you to send out staff newsletters like what I do from time to time. You can create them in S'more and send it out that way. And so I put that group in there so that you could send it out from this if you prefer, instead of sending out through just regular email. And so once you pick a group, and I'm going to go ahead and pick the newsletter group, we'll hit done. You also have the ability to pick a specific person. So if it was somebody on your campus that you needed to send something to for whatever reason, they're not part of a group that's already there, it'll come up as staff and you can select them. if you needed to send something to me, I'm not going to come up because I'm not part of your campus, but you can put my email address in or someone else's, and it'll create an account for me, and you can add me on there. The next part is start time. Default is now. If you click on that, you have the ability to go change the time and have a specific time that it goes out. You could set it up to have multiple times that it goes out. So if you wanted to set it up as a reminder later on, you can put the date and time in there and have it go out again. We do have some parameters set so that you don't accidentally send a message at 4 o'clock a.m. instead of 4 o'clock p.m., which sometimes will not make people the happiest getting those in the middle of the night. But this will keep you from doing that. If you do need to send something out at 10 o'clock because it has to go out right away, you would have to check that box to override that. And so once you have your time in there, you're ready to go, you just hit save. I'm sorry. That is the problem. So if you get that message, you may have a blank box in there, just showing you some extra things that you need to know. So now this will go out tomorrow at 4 o'clock, and then all you have to do is hit send, and it'll sit there in a queue and go out at 4 o'clock tomorrow. And it should be set up that you get one of these messages sent to you also. But if you have like a personal email account that you wanted to get it sent to you, you could put that in also. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll go in and I'll create this message and I'll send it to myself first, and that way I can see how it looks in my own email before I send it to parents to see if there's anything that needs to be adjusted. So, and then I'll go back in and I can pick it again, because when you go to this drop down, there's that email. I could go in and pick it and then send it out. I don't have to go in and build it again. I can just go ahead and send it out once it's corrected. If I needed to make a change to this, I hit that drop down, view all, pick it, hit edit, make my changes, publish changes, and it goes back. It's really, once you get the hang of it, and you've done this a couple times, it's really pretty easy to use, and I like it. This is the system I use pretty much predominantly now. I don't really use the Connect system very often at all. I like this. I like using S'more because I can change it. I can use my own pictures. I can do basically anything I need to do with it. And then I think parents enjoy it because all the information is right there. I have found that when I send something out, if I want something to, say we have a newsletter with a lot of information, but there's something specific that I want people to pay attention to, when I do send it out individually, it gets a lot of attention. And so I think this is very helpful to get the word out about certain things. So like curriculum night, yes, you want it in your weekly update, your newsletters, but I would also send that out as maybe an event and send it separate just to get their attention. Because it does work. When I send things out, I notice a lot more parent interaction with that, and we get pretty good showings to come to different events, things like that. So there's a lot that you can do with it. Like I said, you'll have to play with it to kind of figure it out, and I'm happy to help you. You all should have my cell phone number, so if you get stuck, let me know. And like I said, because things have been set up the way they are, I can go in pretty easily and see what's going on. If you need some help, if I need to send it, I've done that for people too. So it's pretty good, that I think the way that we have it streamlined, just so I can help you out the best way that I can. But if you do have any questions, I'm always around to help. And if I need to come over and sit down with you, one time so you do it, we can do that too. I just wanted to give you this opportunity to go in and play with it so you can kind of get the feel for it, and just take some time to get used to the system. And that's why I have both kind of going right now, because a lot of you are familiar with Connect, but this will give you the opportunity to do some additional things. So if I forgot something or you have another question, run into an issue, please let me know. I'd be happy to help you. And I hope that you enjoy the system and like it, and can do a lot of cool things throughout the year with it. So thank you, and let me know if I can help out at all.